Okay, so by popular demand, here is a video on how to trim dogs' nails when they are black. So I previously posted a video on how to trim dogs' claws when they're white and you can easily see the quick, but obviously in dogs with black nails it is a lot harder because you cannot see the quick. For those that don't know, the quick is the living part of the nail, so that's the blood supply and the nerves that resides within the nail, and if you cut that it bleeds and it really hurts. So it's very important that you don't cut the quick. So here is a little video on how to cut dogs with black nails. So firstly, I find it easier to trim black nails from the underside of the foot, because from the bottom side you can actually see the quick. So you see how there's this little bit here and then this sort of U-shaped bit here. This bit here, this is the quick. So from the underside you can see it. It's a bit more of a solid structure that normally sits a bit further back within the nail, and then this bit here is just the excess nail that's growing. So from the bottom you can gradually shave back this part of the nail, making sure that you don't cut this bit. So I'm going to show you another photo now. When you cut this bit back, you can cut it so far until you see a black dot within the nail, and that is the very end of the quick, and that is where you stop. Okay, so for photo reference, I've trimmed back the nails on this dog and you see this black dot here. This is where you stop. This is the very end of the quick. If you cut any further than that tiny little black dot, the nail will bleed and it will be very painful. So when you go from the bottom, you can shave it off in millimeters. So I use the scissor action nail clippers. If anyone wants to get some of these, they're in my showcase, but you basically just want to gradually trim the nail. Literally, I do it millimeter by millimeter on dogs with black nails until I see this little dot. So I'll show you a video just to explain what I mean. So here I am going from the underside of the foot. I am literally going to be cutting off a few millimeters at a time until I see that little black dot inside the nail. I always think it's better to take off smaller amounts than to risk cutting too short, making your dog bleed and hurting them, because this can traumatize them and you'll have a job trying to cut their nails again in future. So I'm literally shaving off like millimeters at a time until there you see that black dot. That is where you stop.